Hey guys, welcome to Paranormal Stories with Vegas Paranormal Personal Experiences. A lot of you want to hear them, so I'm going to tell them. So when I was about, 17 or 18 years old, I used to work as a waitress at Pizza Hut in high school, just so I could, pay my insurance and my phone and all that other stuff, the stuff that you had when you were a teenager. Customers would usually, tip a couple dollars, and then they would just, leave their change on the table. And then, after I would go out and do what I did with, my money, I would always put a change in a bottle. The little water bottle things. I'd always just put my change in there. So one night, I decided that I wanted to roll all my change. So I was sitting in my room. Next thing I know, I looked over at my lamp and I was like, oh, okay, just in a daze, whatever. And then my light clicked. The creepy thing about that was the little knob on the pole moved by itself and my light turned on. I was like, okay. And then it turned off. The crazy thing about that is I did it one more time. So I was like, this is creepy, but okay, whatever. That was the only time that had ever happened when I was a teenager. Alright guys, so now I'm going on to the second experience I had. So one night, I was sitting in my room. I don't remember what I was doing, but I think I was talking with a friend. And then I had heard something fall off the counter in the kitchen. Now mind you, there was nobody in the kitchen. So me and the person that were talking in the bedroom, we actually looked at each other like, what was that? So we walked into the kitchen, basically examined the kitchen, and I think we saw like a knife or something. I don't remember, but it was strange. So we said screw it and went back into the bedroom and to, finish our conversation. And as we walked into the bedroom, something had flew off the shelf in my closet, because in my closet I had like a 3 or 4 tier shelf already put in there when I moved in. I literally watched it fall from the top shelf onto the floor right underneath my bed. Alright guys, so this one is actually going to take place in the city that I used to live in, which is Williamsburg, Virginia. I used to waitress at this place right here called Mama Steve's. Now on this particular day that I was working, it was thunderstorming and it was really dark outside. In Virginia that happens. So I was actually serving some customers, and the husband, he was a real smartass, and I'd give him his shit right back, because when you have a personality, someone's a smartass to you, you're a smartass right back. And that's actually how I actually earned my tips a lot, was being a smartass to my customers, and they loved it. So pretty much I, talked to them the whole entire time they were there during my shift. So in the South, you can actually have a conversation with someone and become friends with them and actually hang out with them. And that's exactly what we did. So the next day, I was actually off, so we decided to drive to this place called Edgewood Plantation. Now, when we arrived, it was a beautiful area. The house was gorgeous and everything, but what sparked my attention was this mill. So as we were walking up to it, we were just amazed by how old and decrepit it looked. And then we decided to walk up to the door, and we noticed this picture frame. And we were really staring and just admiring the picture frame because it was so out of place. And this is what happened.
Old picture frame, see that? Oh my.
Now I didn't know I had captured that EVP until I went back home and watched the video. So I thought that was really cool. But when I had first went to this mill, it actually had caught my eye and caught my attention, and it didn't feel right. Now I know why. Alright guys, so this one took place again in Williamsburg, Virginia / Charles, Virginia, because that's where the Edgewood plantation was. Okay, so me and the hubby's mom, we used to go out and explore and be dumb. And Mom, if you're watching, what's up? So this one particular day, we actually went back to the mill. I think it was literally like a week after my last visit there. And she wanted to explore her gifts as well. And we were just chilling in the mill, hanging out, asking questions, just chilling. Now, in Virginia, during the summertime, because this was in June, there's a lot of bugs that like to decide that they want to fly around in your face. So me and her were like swatting at the bugs because, you know, it just rained the day before. And we were swatting at the bugs. And I was like, oh my God, go away. This is what happened.
To me. Go away.
Now, we both had our phones recording at the same time. And Mr. John or Ben, whatever his name is, because we never got a name, because we did investigate this place a couple of times after these 2 visits. We never got a straight name. So I call him John or Ben. But he chose my phone to talk to. So later that day, we chose to drive to Eastern State Medical Building is what they call it now, but back then it used to be called Eastern State Asylum or Eastern State Hospital. I don't know. It was before my time, way before my time. So as I'm getting out of my truck, I had my hand on the door, because you know how you grab your hand on the, like you put your hand around the window when you have your window open. My door had actually slammed on my hand by itself as I was getting out of my truck. So with that being said, you can only imagine the amount of pain I was in. So I'm trying to tough it out and walk up to this building. Back then, these trees were not there. You could actually walk up to the windows and look inside the windows. And I'm seriously trying to tough this shit out. I am trying to tough it out so hard. And the pain was so brutal that I had to sit down because I literally felt like I was going to pass out, to the point where, you know how you have to put your head between your legs so you can like bring your consciousness back to? Yeah, I had to do that. Now, I'm looking in the window and both of my hands start cramping up to where, you know how like when you have your hand around a steering wheel? It looked like that. I could not move my hands. I literally could not move both of my hands. They were cramped so bad. And at this point, Mom was freaking out a little bit. She was freaking out a little bit, but she didn't know what to do, because that's just the reaction I saw on her face. So I told her, I was like, you're gonna have to drive my truck. So I got in the passenger seat, and as she's driving away, all I saw was an 80-year-old man with arthritis. So imagine being an 80-year-old man in a hospital in a wheelchair because you really can't function with arthritis. And the nurses basically being like mean to you because you don't know how to function at that age, especially when your mind is going. So as we start to drive away, my hands start feeling a little bit better, and I start feeling a lot better, and I am able to, sit up and talk to her about the experience. When I got home that day, I saged myself and I sprayed dragon's blood on myself. That was the most creepiest experience so far that I have had with the paranormal. I hope you enjoyed those stories that I have for you so far. There is more, but in order to hear them, please leave me a 5. And thanks to Meg's Mysteries for the inspiration of how I represented this video. You go, girl. So everyone, please go check out Meg's Mysteries, and I'm going to leave her link in the description below. Have a spooky day.